Mr. President, I submit my report in writing with the following comments and highlights. So, thank you, Right Reverend Sir, and thank you all for allowing me the privilege and joy of getting to serve as your missioner for development and evangelism. I tell people all the time, I have the best job. I get to work with folks all across the diocese, and I get to see what everyone is doing and what God is doing. I get to come alongside all kinds of folks in their work with God. I also get to talk to folks across the country and around the globe about what they're doing, how they're doing it, and how they're sharing the good news of Jesus's love. And a thread that I've been hearing from people a lot lately is that it's been a rough 2 years and people are tired, like really tired. And even though it feels like we're constantly busy, everything seems to be moving at like a slug's pace. It's almost like the gears are sticky. And it reminds me of right before the pandemic, I ran this half marathon and it was wonderful, but afterwards I was exhausted and I was sore and I was moving so slow. And I think that's where a lot of us are right now. We're having to take some baby steps back into things. And even that can seem daunting at times. And I think in that there's this tendency to focus on all that we've lost, of all the things that we weren't able to do, and the things that we can't seem to go back to doing again. And there's a tendency to get frustrated because we're not doing as much as we think we ought to be doing. But I want to shine a little light into that heavy space. In talking to folks across our diocese and preparing for this upcoming outreach, mercy, and justice cycle of prayer, I discovered that in the midst of all of these challenges, our churches, y'all, are doing some really amazing and beautiful work. Y'all have taken this opportunity to try new things and to shine new lights. You found new ways to do the old things. And you can see and learn about some of this work if you'll come over to the exhibit hall at the convention center, and you can come walk the hall and you can see the good works being done right here in our diocese. But I want to take a minute to highlight a few. St. Francis in Gulf Breeze opened a senior center to give our older friends a place to thrive. St. Andrews by the Sea kept their Blue Door ministry open, and they served the homeless population. They found safe ways to welcome people in. They offered COVID tests and haircuts. The beloved Community Outreach Center was launched in Mobile to offer a place of hospitality and love for those who have often felt outside the reach of the church. St. Mary's in Coden, St. Monica's Cantonment, St. Mark's in Troy with a UTO grant, St. Andrews in Panama City, and many more have all gotten very creative in the ways that they've been able to feed people safely during COVID. St. John's Pensacola has tried so many new things. They've worked with the Tri-Tank organization, and they've even become an experimental hub for them. So y'all be sure to talk to Christy about some experiments. But y'all have inspired me. As I was putting this together, something sparked. And y'all motivated me to chase that spark. I actually went for a run yesterday for the first time in 2 years. And it was hard, and it was slow, and I was huffing and puffing. And today I'm a little bit sore. But y'all, it felt good. And it reminded me, I can do this. We can do this. We can keep going out and sharing the love of God in new ways, in old ways, and in that beautiful and mystical mix of both. And I tell you this in hopes of inspiring you too. If you felt a spark around something lately, follow it. Follow God and ask God, where is this going? How can you listen for that holy spark and go forward? I encourage you to take a chance, even if you feel sluggish and slow and tired. Take a few baby steps. Start that next chapter of going forward. A few invitations of some baby steps can be found in my written report. We have some small church cohorts coming up, and I'm working on a cycle of prayer. So please let me know what your parish would like included on it, the things that you're doing to reach out to your community. I really want to know them. We're working on some lay-led evangelism events with a grant from the Episcopal Evangelism Society. So if your church wants to be a part of that, please let me know. Come by the table in the exhibit hall, email me or call me. There's so much that we can do together. And one of those things is a lot of fun. We're gonna play bingo this convention. So if you will come by the exhibit hall, come to my booth, it's right up at the front. You can pick up your very own bingo card. And on your bingo card, each square has a challenge for you. Some of them are things you can do on your own, like just simply have a miter or crozier sighting, or maybe someone gives Scott Remington a hard time. You can just mark those off on there. But there are other things that help us connect to each other, like meet a youth delegate or take a selfie with a deacon. And then there are other things on there that help us remember our story, tell our story, and get to know each other. There are things like meet someone from another convocation, ask someone about a time they knew they belonged, sit by someone you don't. So I invite y'all to come, pick these up, just put your initial on it when you complete a task, and when you get a bingo, come back by the booth and I will give you a prize. We have cool buttons, you can collect all three. And if you get a blackout, we have bigger prizes. And if you would, when you get a bingo, please go ahead and yell it very loudly wherever you are. So this should be a lot of fun. Thank you again for letting me serve as your development and evangelism. It is truly a blessing to get to do this work.
Amen. Thanks, Lydia.